Well, it's October already. Seems like just last week it was summer. Growing up, October was the second most exciting month of the year, right behind December, because at the end of the month was Halloween. Halloween was made for kids. You got to dress up in a costume representing your favorite hero or your alter ego. And even a modest effort at going door to door would yield a candy haul that would put the Easter Bunny to shame. So all month long, there was planning and preparation and anticipation enough to fire up even the most laid-back kid. For weeks, we thought about what we were going as for Halloween. Of course, back in the day, you made your own costume. Buying one was unthinkable. Magically and creatively, linen closets and clothes closets disgorged old sheets, towels, and adult clothing of every description to be turned into ghost shrouds, crusader capes, princess outfits, and hobo costumes. Even the moms got into it, applying burnt cork beards and lipstick war paint and the most ugly, disfiguring wounds you could imagine. My favorite medium was the brown paper bags you got at the grocery store. In an hour or less, you could turn two of them into a pretty respectable Indian costume. And with a third bag, you had the perfect receptacle to bring back the haul. And you could always tell the kids who would someday grow up to be the president of General Motors. They made two costumes and had two bags so they could run the neighborhood twice, once right after school and the other right after dinner. With a little husbandry, you could make the candy last almost to Christmas. In school, we drew pictures of skeletons and jack-o'-lanterns and ghosts and pinned them up on the hallway bulletin boards in scary scenes, with teased-out cotton for spider webs. And on Halloween Day, we got to wear our costumes to school. The last hour of class was reserved for a party in which we drank apple cider, bobbed for apples with dimes hidden in them, and ate cupcakes made to look like jack-o'-lantern faces. And at the end of class, the teachers gave us little trick-or-treat bags to prime the candy pump and sent us off with the reminder, don't forget to trick-or-treat for UNICEF.
Trick-or-treat, trick-or-treat, trick-or-treat for Halloween. Better give a treat that's good to eat if you want to keep life serene. Trick-or-treat, 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 trick-or-treat the whole night through. Little scalawags with fiendish gags can make it tough on you. So when ghosts and goblins by the store ring the bell on your front door, you better not be stingy or your nightmares will come true.
Your nightmares will come true. Your nightmares. Our formative years saw the horror movie genre explode with a plethora of offerings that played on every fear anyone could ever have. Monsters, murders, and mayhem, space aliens, weird science, and otherworldly phenomena. And the formula was always the same. Usually, the audience would be let in on the essential threat in the story before the film's characters were. This would then be followed by an hour and a half of idiocy, in which a procession of people would defy the very laws of logic and get picked off one at a time. So much for stupidity. Hey, Jack, did you hear? 27 people have disappeared while exploring the old Simpson place. Let's get the girls and go down there on Friday night and see what happens. And of course, the young women in the movie always wore the most impractical clothing for ghost hunting: short skirts and high heels. The perfect outfit for running away from a fiend. Perhaps the quintessential movie was Psycho. People were terrified beyond all measure by it, but I didn't get it. This really happened. On a Wednesday evening, my 14-year-old brother and I decided to see this frightening film that everyone was talking about. We made the decision to see this frightening film with no trepidation, just a casual decision. So we hopped in the car and went down to the Carlton Theater in Lake Okeechobee for the last show of the night. Apparently it was late in the movie's run because there were only a few other people in the audience. At 10:30, when the movie let out, my brother and I walked out through the lobby to the sidewalk to find that all the lights had already been turned off. The lobby lights, the marquee, as well as the other stores on the street. Now alone, again, we turned right, casually walked 30 yards or so to the corner and turned right once more onto a street whose sidewalks were overhung by giant oaks that, in filtering the street lights, cast eerie shadows on the ground. We got in the car, drove home, and thought nothing more about the evening. Meanwhile, 4 of my friends, big, beefy, macho guys, who had gone to see Psycho together at the drive-in, all in one car, true story, these were guys the Marines would have coveted. After the movie, they were so scared that they drove around for 2 hours arguing about who would be the first to be dropped off. Who'd have thunk it?